saying he started by saying 70 to 75, which he didn't. He started by saying 60 to 70. So he's even lying in his admittal of lying. This is the guy in charge of our healthcare.
85, that's not a big leap to go from 75 to 85. It was really based on calculations and pure extrapolations from measles. Measles is about 98% effective vaccine. The COVID-19 vaccine is about 94, 95%. When you get below 90% of the population vaccinated with measles, you start seeing a breakthrough against the herd immunity. People starting to get infected like we saw in the upper New York State and in New York City with the Orthodox Jewish group when we had measles outbreak. So I made a calculation that COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, is not as nearly as transmissible as measles. Measles is the most transmissible infection you can imagine. So I would imagine that you would need something a little bit less than the 90%. That's where I got to the 85. But I think we all have to be honest and humble. Nobody really knows for sure, but I think 70 to 85% for herd immunity for COVID-19 is a reasonable estimate. And in fact, most of my epidemiology colleagues agree with me.
Yeah, of course, nothing is exact. I guess my question was about polling. It seemed in that quote to suggest that you were basing your recommendation on polling and what people could accept. Is that not what you meant?
No, I mean, it's a bit of that. I want to encourage the people of the...
So when he just said no, and then he immediately said yes, it's a bit of that. No, it's a bit of that. Yes, that means yes. Dr. Anthony Fauci, and I've said this on this show, I'll say it right now, is a pathological liar and should not be heading the coronavirus response. Dr. Anthony Fauci is a pathological liar. He can't do an interview where he doesn't lie. He just lied twice in one sentence. She knows he's lying. What does that look tell you? She knows he's full of shit. She's talked to people like him all her life. She knows when someone's obfuscating and bullshitting, and he is. And she knows it. That's why she asked that question a second time.
United States and globally to get vaccinated, because as many as we possibly get vaccinated will get closer to herd immunity. So the bottom line is, it's a guesstimate. I gave a range, and I use any discussion like we're having now, Dana, to encourage people to get to that goal of 70 to 85% of the people vaccinated. That's where we really want to be.
Okay, and just to put a button on it, no sugarcoating, you're saying 75 to 80% is the goal in your view as of now, based on what you know when it comes to herd immunity, not 90%.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
What? He's saying everything. He's saying everything. I heard him say 90%. Now he's saying not 90. Now he's saying, she just said 70 to 80, and he said right. He said 85 before, and then 90, and then he first said 60 to 70, then 70 to 85, and then 90, and now she just said 70 to 80, and he said yes. He's saying everything. This guy is an incompetent, and he should not be in this position. This guy is horrible. We know that Donald Trump deliberately downplayed the coronavirus threat. You know who else did that? This fucking guy. So Trump told Bob Woodward he knew in February that COVID-19 was deadly stuff, but wanted to play it down. Guess who else wanted to play it down? Listen to this guy.
Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask.
So when he's saying this, he knows he's lying. He knows that we should be walking around with masks. He knows that, and he's lying anyway. And that guy says, everybody's listening to you. What are you saying? And he says it again. He lies. And I'm going to show you him admitting he's lying right now in the next video. But let's listen to the rest of this.
Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it, because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often, there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course. But when you